when you left your previous job and decided to kind of go into India Art Fair, what was on your mind? What did you want to do? Why art? Why, why not something else, if I may? And what were the drivers then? And if you can compare that decision then versus now, how do you look back at that decision now?
I wish there was a decision, but there probably wasn't, to be honest.
All right.
It's just, you know, there is, business plans are important, and thinking things through in terms of quitting your job and starting a business is important, and having a backup plan is important. But, you know, what's equally important, and I mean, the only experience I have to share is sometimes just to go with the flow. So sometimes just kind of follow your heart, experiment a bit, be a bit organic, take some chances. And that's kind of what happened in my case. So it kind of just happened. And sometimes when you put yourself in a mental framework where you're looking to make a difference, where you're looking to be entrepreneurial in your thinking, the opportunities kind of just show up. And as a young 26-year-old, that really was sort of my experience. So my jobs previously were more at a sort of a mid-management kind of jobs. I was working with PR companies and events companies and marketing organizations, both here and in the UK. And all along, there was a degree of sort of frustration of saying, what is it that I'm doing that hasn't been done before? You know, what is the difference that I'm making to the world, to my world, to the country, to, you know, just what I'm interested in. And in a sense, it was sort of taking the skill sets that I had picked up in the course of working with all of these communications and management companies and applying it to an area that I'm very passionate about. And therefore the choice of fine art, and sort of looking at creating a differentiated platform within the arts that serves several purposes, all of which are together aimed at kind of building an ecosystem around the arts. So it's, you know, as someone from the previous panel shared, the idea of them joining the board was to be the chairperson of the board. The idea of me setting up the art fair was to create a platform that sort of brings everybody together. And that's a big claim for someone who's not even in the art world, and in a sense a student on the outside. But I think it's, you know, the spirit of entrepreneurship and the thinking of saying, you know, I'm going to believe in partnerships and collaborations, in the fact that there are, if you create a property that is distinguished, that is need-based, and that is in a sense feeding into the sentiment of the time, whether it's the art market booming, whether it's you know, India shining and its importance in the global scheme of things. I mean, India was hugely marketable at the time that we started.
Correct.
And so all of those kind of became the opportunity and presented themselves in a way that there was this perfect spot of business meets education meets public programming, and suddenly there was, you know, it worked out such that the arts could now be made accessible to a larger public. We've had 500,000 people come and go for the art fair over the last few years. It's very much about new publics and bringing art out of the art galleries, and it came from my own intimidating kind of experiences as a young person, not wanting to walk into a gallery because it was, you know, I would die of a shame attack. Yeah, it would be sort of, I wouldn't know what to do with myself because I was interested, but, you know, I didn't walk in with $1 million.